So, is this a matter of, again, kind of reading between the lines here with this rhetoric, these executive orders? Is there really a concern with just the pause of
Yeah.
these negotiations?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, as I said, if you follow the paper trail as well as the rhetoric trail, then I think, the signs are starting to align. So I would say that we would be right to be cautious right now, and to certainly keep our eyes on the prize and make sure that we're following what is happening conclusively. But at this point, negotiations are just paused. They have not been canceled.
Hmm.
The agreement in principle that is in place is still in effect. And as of right now, it is technically business as usual, other than the negotiations aren't happening around ratifying that treaty in Congress.
Amid all of this, Canadians have been very sensitive and concerned about issues around sovereignty.
Yes.
What is at risk when it comes to that? What should we be concerned with regard to water?
Yeah, well, that's just it, right? I mean, the Columbia River Treaty suffers from the fact that it was already under negotiation and had only an agreement in principle that had been reached at the time that the new Trump administration took over. But this really speaks to Canadian sovereignty and water sovereignty in particular, which has been a long-standing back and forth conversation between Canada and the U.S. The Great Lakes have been no stranger to conflict and negotiation
That's
between
come up
Canada
as
and
well.
U.S.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I think what we're seeing now is an unfortunate change in tone and spirit and intent that is changing the nature of that conversation and the seriousness of this conversation. And particularly in the last week, the comments around revising the treaty boundaries. And of course, what Donald Trump is talking about there are the boundaries that are laid out in the Boundary Waters Treaty of 1909 that actually determine where the US ends and where Canada begins.
Mm.
And those were surveyed as a result of the Boundary Waters Treaty.